Before you start PA school, you need to watch this video. I didn't talk to enough people who told me the cons. I didn't talk to enough people who told me the realities. I wish there was a video like this for me to really get a true understanding of what I was getting into. I really hated school. I really hated school. Would I do it all again? The answer is hey everyone, welcome back to the community. Come in, take a seat, and get comfortable because today I'm going to be talking about the truth about physician assistant school. I don't really see that many people talking about like the true experience, the true nitty gritty of being in physician assistant school. So this is coming from someone who does not love medicine. So if you love medicine, you can like disregard a lot of what I say. But I am someone who realized that I needed to separate myself from the career and figure out what really lights me up inside and go toward that. And I'm now doing something that aligns way more with who I am, which is coaching. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the truth. It's going to be my experience and we're going to get into it. I really hated school. I really hated school. I was so miserable. I was not only going through how hard it is to study medicine, I was also fighting the resistance of this career doesn't fit with me. This career is misaligned. I have to do this really hard thing despite it not being for me. So there's like additional resistance to learning something as hard as medicine and memorizing all this information. It's one thing to just have that, and that's hard enough, but when you're also up against that tension of like a constant internal battle of, is this even for me? Do I even like this? That's what made it miserable for me. Okay, first I want to talk about the structure of physician assistant schools. So typically most schools, you have a didactic period and then you have clinical period. Didactic, it's when it's all about the books. It's all about studying and the tests. It was from January of one year until May of the next year, however many months that is. That's how long my life was literally study, all day study, to the library, study, take a test. Don't do anything else. You don't have time for anything else. Don't even think about anything else. Don't have any other hobbies. Your whole life is studying medicine now. Okay? Whoever you were before, it doesn't matter who you were. Now you're this person. My whole life surrounded around PA school. From the time I woke up to the time I laid my head down, it's all about medicine. So during the didactic period, there would be like on average 2 to 4 tests a week. A lot of them would be stacked in the same day. And you would just have to take a test, have a 10-minute break, okay, come back, reset, and take another test. If I did not do well that test, like I'm sick about it, okay? I see the test results, I'm like, oh my God. Go to the bathroom, cry, but there's only 10 minutes in between classes. So you only have like 7 minutes to cry, 2 minutes to get it together, and you better go back in that room and take the next test. It kind of taught me like resilience and perseverance in like a weird, messed up way. That was my reality constantly. Cry, cry in the bathroom, get it together, next test. Get it together, move on to the next thing. There's always a next thing, there's always a new topic. We're not even on cardiology anymore. We're on pulmonology now. You're crying about cardiology. That was 2 hours ago. Boo. You're learning everything, and they love to use the phrase, it's like drinking water out of a fire hose. They're just giving you so much information and so much to even process. You're sitting in class and it's so much information. And it's like, I'm not even processing what's going on, but I have a test on it in 2 days. I don't even understand what you're saying. I have to, like, so much of the studying process is, okay, what even happened in class? What was even said? What are we even talking about right now? I got to process it. I got to take it all in before I can, like, study and memorize and understand it enough to know in different scenarios, and, like, not just regurgitate the information, but to, like, really know it well to apply it to different scenarios. Okay. And you have, like, no time, like, very minimal time to go through all these steps of learning. So learning your studying habits, knowing how to study, learning what studying habits work for you, you need to figure out immediately. Okay? Whether it's studying on your own, study groups, are you a visual learner, audio learner, are you going to listen to podcasts, are you going to watch the playbacks of the classes? Are you going to be a note taker during class? Are you going to type your notes? Like, you need to know that about yourself very early on because there's little time to figure it out. There is a weird competition that comes when you're at a level of education where everybody is a high performer. Everybody has done well, and that's why we've all made it to this place. There is, like, a competitiveness that people have. They want to do better than everyone else. But you can't naturally perform better than everyone else because we're all smart if we've made it to this point. So you have to, like, lie and manipulate to make other people perform worse. So what people would do is, like, act like they didn't really study, which I always thought was so weird. They always downplayed how much they studied. It's like this reverse psychology thing to get other people to not study as much so they don't perform as well. Because you can't just outdo them in testing anymore just from natural ability, because we all have natural ability. So you have to, like, manipulate them into studying less so they're less prepared so you get a higher grade. It was weird. I hated that. Like, why are we lying about how prepared we are and how much we're studying? I saw you in the library until midnight because I was there until midnight. Why are you acting like you're not prepared and you did not study? That was so strange to me. So, the next year is all about rotations, okay? Rotations is when you go through to different hospitals or different clinics and you are there to shadow or get practice in with a established PA at that hospital or practice, or a doctor or resident, whoever they have you working with, right? You are there to learn, to be a sponge, but also to practice and to answer any questions they might have for you on the spot. They love to quiz you. They love to you out, is what they say. They want to see you shake. They want to see that you're on your toes. Do you know your stuff? I hated rotations because I started to feel like I had to mask. I had to mask because I always felt like I'm acting. I'm playing a role of this perfect PA student. I just love studying, guys, and I love showing up here at 5 o'clock in the morning. And please ask me questions. If I don't know, I don't know the answer right now, but I'll look it up as soon as I leave here, and I'll report back to you tomorrow. Just having all the right answers to say all the time. I hated that. Like, I hated the performing aspect of it. Always needing to have the right answer and say the right things and be happy to stay late, even though I have to go straight from here to the library and study until midnight and then come back at 5 a.m. Because the studying doesn't stop when you're in the clinical period. You still have to study. You just now have to have a job, pretty much. and then after the job go to the library and study. So I just felt like I was acting, I was performing, I had a mask on, I couldn't really be my true self and have my true personality because I had to present as perfect PA student because I'm being graded and I'm being watched like a hawk. It's like being micromanaged at all times. Someone's watching every little step you take, every little thing that you do, every little response. They're watching it and critiquing you. A lot of people thrived during clinicals in my class because they got to show their knowledge and show everything that they've learned and everything they've been working on, show their skills. And they were happy to do that. I remember like constantly trying to see if any other students felt like me because I wanted to see if, okay, do I feel like this because medicine is hard, or do I feel like this because medicine is not my thing? And so I would be like, hey guys, PA school, right? I thought we were all experiencing the same thing. So I'm just like trying to find people who related to my experience. And I'm realizing I'm just out here by myself. Nobody else knows what the heck I'm even talking about. Everyone's just like, yeah, it's hard, but I love it. And I'm just like, oh, we're supposed to still love it. I missed that part. I didn't gather that part. I thought we all felt the same way, and I'm realizing it's not. We all don't. No one else felt the way that I did. I think for me it felt like acting because I'm fighting to learn medicine, but I'm also fighting myself on what feels right, what actually fits with who I am. It's not that I'm incapable of learning all of this information and studying and taking these tests and memorizing and doing well. It's not that I'm incapable. It's just that this is so misaligned with who I really am that I'm fighting myself. But I didn't know that at the time, okay? I was 27 and thinking that I'm finally going to get this amazing career with financial stability and respect. So I was not thinking about alignment. I just kept fighting through it because I was like, you just feel that way because it's just the beginning and you're learning something new, but it's going to get better. Wait until you have your first job. It's going to get better. So by the time I'm realizing that, ooh, like maybe I made a mistake coming to PA school, it's obviously too late. I've already invested so much time, so much energy, so much studying. I have this huge student loan. Enough said. I thought that I should just be grateful. Be grateful for this opportunity, especially as a Black woman. Be grateful to have one of the seats because our class only had 42 seats and 5,000 people applied. I think that's like, what is that? 80, 80, no, 0.84%, less than 1% of the people that applied. Less than 1%. Okay, if the math is wrong, you can correct me in the comments, but I think that's less than 1% of the people that applied got in. And there's only one other Black person in my class. There were no Black men, just one other Black woman in my class. And I got to have one of these 42 seats. So I should do something with it, was my thought process. If I was going in now with the knowledge that I have now, I would tell people to make sure you're doing it for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else because at the end of the day, you're going to be living in it. You're going to be the one who has to wake up every day and give everything. while you're in school, and sometimes even after when you're in the career. You're gonna have to wake up every single day and sacrifice all your time and all your energy, your effort, your money. It's a sacrifice. You're gonna lose sleep. You're gonna lose time with family. You're gonna lose time with friends. You're gonna see that other people are moving up in their careers and you are still in school, likely not making any money because a lot of schools don't allow you to work at the same time. You're going to look around and see other people advancing in their careers and going on vacations and going out for happy hours and going, you know, and you're going to be in the library. I was in my car crying, scrolling on Instagram looking at what everyone else is doing, and meanwhile, I'm in the car crying. Okay? So do it for you. You're the one that's going to have to live with the decision, and you're going to have to live with the sacrifice, and nobody else will have to. Other people will tell you to do it because it's stable and it's a respected career, but they're not the ones that have to do the sacrificing. So know that you're doing it for you. The other thing that I will say to someone who is thinking about PA school is social media is not real. I remember when I was thinking about going into school, I saw all these PAs on social media buying these homes and buying these expensive cars and going on these lavish vacations and just selling us the image that when you are PA, life is this amazing luxury experience that you will be rolling in the dough, you will be so happy and so free. Social media is not real. Social media is people showing you the highlights of their life. Don't build your expectations based on someone else's highlights. And I'm not saying you can't afford the house and the car and the vacations when you're a PA. Pick the right job, I will say that. Being a PA provides you a six-figure salary and financial stability and great lifestyle. Just be careful about who you watch and who you expect your life to look like. Just be careful, is all I say. Would I do it all again? The answer is yes. I would do it all again. I'm glad I have this skill and this PA license under my belt because I know that I can always have stable income no matter what. And I know that there's always a need. So I'll always have work if I want to have work. So it does allow me that flexibility in life to be able to pursue passions and dreams, but also have the stability while I pursue those things. So I'm grateful for the license. I'm grateful to have a PA license. I'm grateful for the skills. I'm grateful for the experience. And at the end of the day, I would do it all again. I just wish I knew myself more to know which fields to go into and have the discernment to know which jobs are right for me and which jobs are not. I just wish I had more clarity on what to expect and what life would look like, and just knowing that this is not going to be my forever full-time thing, and that's okay. That mindset shift would have helped me to endure more. So yes, I would do it all again and become a PA all over again. I'm just really happy to also be able to pursue what I love at the same time. If anything in this video resonated with you, please leave a comment down below so we can continue the conversation. If you are someone who is thinking about going to PA school, who was already applied, who is in the process of applying, whatever, just leave a comment below. Or if you have any questions, definitely leave your questions down below. If you want to know the real about PA school from someone who struggled, honestly, I struggled through school. So if you want to know from the perspective of a non-ideal student, you can definitely leave your question down below. And subscribe to the community. I really want to make this a place where it's safe to just come and talk about what's really going on. So let's connect down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.